What's up, y'all? As y'all see by the title, today we're talking about how abortion is a satanic sacrifice. It is child sacrifice. God woke me up 3 o'clock this morning at the satanic hour where they do these rituals, where they do these heinous acts that they do at their little cult and coven meetings. He woke me up around an hour, literally woke me up out of my sleep at 3 o'clock on the nose, bruh. I looked at my clock. It was my phone. It was 3 o'clock on the nose, and this was heavy on my spirit at that time of morning. So the fact that I keep getting waking up out my sleep for this stuff, that's how I know it's serious, and that's how I know God is not playing about it. And I remember I did speak on this. Y'all already know I speak about abortion a lot in my videos, because it's not okay. And the fact that so many women and men too, but it's the women for me that normalize this stuff and act like it's okay to literally kill innocent babies. To kill innocent babies. I'm not even putting no ads on this video because it's going to be raw. The fact that so many women is okay with killing their own babies, yet if somebody else was to kill a pregnant woman, they would get charged double murder. But if a woman decides to end her own baby, even at 9 months, 8 months, 7 months, 6 months, 5 months, 6 weeks, it doesn't matter. It's murder. It's murder. And God said to not shed innocent blood. So the fact that I was waking up about this, you already know I'm here to judge. Call it what you want, but that's what God called me here to do. And it ain't even me judging. It's God using me as the vessel to deliver his word, because many people out here are scared to speak that raw because everybody make it seem like God is just, so happy with everything that's going on in this wicked world. We think that God is just, God ain't none of that. He is a God of justice. He ain't about a God of love. He's a God of justice. And when you love somebody, you want justice for them. When you love somebody, you hold them accountable. You make them be responsible for their actions. You discipline them. You correct them. When you love your children, you correct them. When you love your children, you want to keep them from harm. So you place rules and regulations in place so that they don't go astray, so that they won't self-destruct. This is what rules are set in place for. So when God is saying, don't sacrifice your children to Moloch. You don't know who Moloch is, look it up. But I talk about him. Moloch is, he's a Baal worshiper. He's a Satan worshiper. All of those names, these goddesses and gods, fire gods, sun gods, these Canaanite gods, these Chemosh gods, Ammonite gods, these are demonic entities that are only here to do the same mission that Satan is, which is to steal, kill, and destroy. Like the Antichrist said in the video that we did, that I did the commentary on. He said, if it ain't to steal, kill, and destroy, Jesus said it. The thief only comes to steal, kill, and destroy. If he ain't doing one of those or all three of those, then it's not his mission. His mission is to counter anything that God puts in place. So God says not to shed innocent blood. Of course, the devil wants to shed innocent blood. The devil wants to make everybody and everything corrupt because he's corrupt. He lost the battle in the heavens and was kicked out of earth. Now he's down here to destroy the earth because he's destroyed. Just like you have your normal people out here. When they suffering in life, they want you to suffer with them. They dealing with trash dudes, trash women. They dealing with abusive people. They want you too to do the same thing. They want you to be in poverty. They haven't gotten out of poverty. They don't want you to. They not happy. They don't want you to be happy. Satanic. So that's what we get ready to obviously go into in the video. But overall, repent. If you have gotten it, this ain't necessarily to crucify you, because I do understand that things happen. But however, if God blessed you with a child, that's his blessing. That's his creation. And he chose you for the mission to raise that child. So do it well. At least you can give it up for adoption to a family who wants to take care of that baby. But these girls these days, and this is really to Black women, because Black women are the main ones that's out here doing it. And his specific instruction to us, because we are his chosen people, His specific instruction to us was not to sacrifice your children to Moloch, to not shed innocent blood, to not try to do what the nations do. But yet we want to be like them white women so bad because they be out here doing their abortions, because they don't want to prioritize their children, because they don't want to take care of theirs. So we doing the same thing, following after them. And this is what God told us not to do. All this my body, my choice, you're renting that body, baby. And when you're a renter, there's rules you have to follow within that body. You're renting that body. You don't own it. You don't own that body. That's why you can't tell it when to wake up. You can't tell it when to die. You can't tell it to do nothing. You can't stop yourself from getting sick. You can't really heal yourself from sickness unless God allows it. But we be saying, oh, my body, my choice. That's what they do at their 3 a.m. rituals, their nightly festivities, when they're killing babies. Literally, you got women out here that get pregnant just to kill the baby. They find delight and power. The men, too, that are in these covens, in these cults, in these secret societies, they find power in being able to dominate and control something. They find power in shedding innocent blood. At their late night rituals there, when they're doing these activities, they have children there, initiating children there, give them prizes. This stuff is really sick because they teaching it to the youth. They pass it on. Like the same way we teach God to our children. And this is what I'm saying, especially if you're a Christian. You can't be a Christian or a child of God or Muslim, whatever you say your belief is, but you believe in the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Israel, well, Jacob. You can't say you believe in that God and then you go out here and do devil acts. You can't serve two masters, but you're going to love the one or hate the other. You cannot serve two masters. So if you're a Christian, if you're a child of God, why are you out here shedding innocent blood when that's against what God told us? That's one of his 7 abominations. That's one of the 7 abominations that God had. Now, abomination is something that's serious. It's something that's serious. It's not just regular sin, or you get a pass for that. There are certain things that God hates more than others. And shedding innocent blood, taking children's innocence is one of them. And that's why that's the main agenda for the enemy, to attack our children through raping, molestation, and abortion. Those are the main 3 ways that he worked. And we fall victim to his tricks. We fall victim to the schemes of the devil. Because we don't have a relationship with God. We don't have our own autonomy in a sense of we want to do what's right because we don't have these integrity. We don't have no integrity, no morals. We want to fit in, do what other people doing. Other people doing it, so it's okay. We watch it on Baby Boy. We see how Yvette did it on Baby Boy. We see how your mama did it. You see, and you want to be like other people. You see other women saying, oh, it's okay, my body, my choice. Not knowing that's the same dang on stuff that they say at their meetings when they killing kids, when they having their orgies, big sex parties. When they doing that stuff, that's what they're saying. Our body, ourselves. That's what they say there. And then they got the masses out here preaching that. My body, my choice. Yeah, it's your choice to prevent having to get an abortion. That's what I don't understand. And that's where the sympathy for me goes out the window with when people say, oh, don't judge or whatever. It goes out the window because it's like you have a choice. And then a lot of these girls, you'll literally sit here, get pregnant by a man, knowingly. You know what's going on when you in the act. You will sit here, first of all, you know this dude, you don't know this dude, you don't like this dude. He don't like you. He don't respect you. He ain't got nothing going on. You have sex with him anyway, though. A baby comes about, and you want to kill the baby versus taking preventative measures, not even dealing with the dude because you already see signs that he ain't about nothing. Control your lust. Control your own self. Have some continence about yourself. Rebuke that spirit of lust up off of you so that you won't even get into this situation anyway. You put yourself in situations and then you use as your form of birth control, abortion, when you can literally get on birth control beforehand. Or you can literally just stop having sex. You ain't really getting nothing out of it anyway. Most women don't orgasm from sex. So what are you really doing? You're just being a doll. You're being a dump for the man because he getting something out of it. Most women not. Most women are not. A lot of these girls don't really want to be mothers. Then y'all wonder why the men hate women. Y'all wonder why our men hate women? Their mamas was just like you. Negligent. Had a baby only for a man. Not because they really wanted to be a mother. Not because they really wanted to nurture anybody, because they can't even nurture themselves. And they saw things that their mama did. And now that make them look at all women like that, look at men like that too. The things that we see and the ways that we're treated as children by our own parents or family, that changed our whole perception of other humans. And it is your body while you're renting it. And because of that, take better care of it. Take better care of who you allowing around you, who you giving access to. Get on birth control or stop having sex. All you're doing is creating soul ties with people who don't care about you, who do nothing from you. All of these killings that's on what's that page? Viral Crimes, Twisted Crimes, all of these crime shows. A lot of this stuff is because people let lust get the best of them. You get to dealing with people that you don't really know. Or even if you did know them, lust come upon you from us fornicating. Things that when God told us not to fornicate, it's for a reason, because he knows what it leads to. Once the fornication happens, it opens a whole new can of worms, ready to come in and take over your body and leave nothing but toxins inside of you. And you wondering why you suffer from depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, all of these demons that be on us. You invited the demon. The moment you sacrifice that baby, the moment you shed that innocent blood, the moment you let a man stick his thing in you, the moment you stick your thing in her, and you don't know if you're sticking it in a person who has a demonic soul on them, we have to really be intentional about what we're doing. It's really not cool. And at least you can take preventative measures. And most people out here ain't using condoms. So you either get vasectomies, get the tubes tied, or just stop having sex. But it's a satanic sacrifice. You're sacrificing to the devil. So y'all already know, I'm going to read some scriptures about this, about Molech, about God's order for us, because we up here doing stuff that's a complete abomination to the Lord. The fact that it woke me up out of my sleep, the fact that this stuff is, he's wanting me to speak on this stuff, the fact, and to the point where it's waking me up. I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning. I literally just started praying. And I find myself lately so much just praying for children, like, and literally going into war in the spirit with my prayer, going hard about protection for the children. I find myself really be praying, really thrashing the enemy to release the hold that he has on the children. I just be thinking, like, waking up, I'm like, oh, it's so many kids getting violated right now. So many kids getting violated because the enemy is roaring. He's roaring. He's walking the earth, seeking who he can devour. And when the enemy, the number one way the enemy can enter is when you're weak and vulnerable. You got so many desperate women, desperate men, because of the spirit of rejection that's on so many of us. We so codependent. We looking to be accepted from anybody. We only having sex with people to fill temporary emotions, temporary voids. Then after the fact, you realize, I don't really like that dude. I don't really like that girl. Now I'm pregnant by this man. Or now she got this baby and I want her to get rid of it. And she won't get rid of it. So I'm going to kill her. And then that's the crazy thing, because you got dudes who they will kill you if you have their baby, if they don't want you to have the baby. But it was all fine and dandy when y'all was having a good time. When them legs was bent back like a pretzel. It was all fine and dandy then. But now when it get real, and you realize it's a life that's coming, and now you got to feed, take care of, and nurture this life that's coming. And now you can't be selfish and be a narcissist and put yourself first because you have a children. You have to put the child first. Now it's like, oh, we got to get rid of this thing. It's really sick when you could take preventative measures. A lot of people around here, and then y'all wonder why people don't feel fulfilled in life. You don't feel fulfilled because, for one, you're the furthest away from God. You don't have nothing that you're working on. You only working on how many women that you can get, how many coochies you can dive into. You got the women worried about how many niggas is after them. Meanwhile, these niggas don't really want you. They want to F you like they're doing. Use you as a dump like they're doing. And then dip off on you like they're doing. Yet, instead of saying, I'm going to just kill the baby, you should say, I'm not even going to get this goofy no access in the first place. You got to say, I'm not even going to give this goofy access to me in the first place. And y'all got to understand, because a lot of our men, they don't believe in God. They don't go to church. It ain't even about going to church. Even they don't have no faith. They don't pray. And by default, because you don't even necessarily have to worship the devil, but by default, when you're not staying spiritually fed by the Lord, when you're not praying, when you're not fasting, when you're not diligently working towards your relationship with God, when you're not staying spiritually fed by God, his word, by talking to him consistently, you're vulnerable. You're open for attack. You're open for attack. The enemy can easily come in and use you, especially when you unheal from your own trauma, when you got all these vices that you use, smoking, drugs, liquor. Liquor is a spirit in itself, a demonic spirit in itself. Why do you think when people get drunk, they go out here crashing up everything? They go out here doing stuff that they shouldn't do. Look how the liquor has destroyed so many families. Look how drugs has destroyed so many families. That's a devil. That's a demon in itself. People are suffering from so many demons because of the things that they try to use to cope, instead of finding out how to turn that pain into purpose. They use sex, drugs, money, chasing money, doing anything for money, killing, robbing, doing all types of things to get a sense of satisfaction, a sense of control, a sense of power, because at some point in their life, they felt like they ain't have none. A lot of this stuff is over power, dominance. That's the only objective of the enemy. And a lot of these men be allowing the enemy to live within them. And you got women too, allowing the enemy to use you and live up in you because of who you sleeping with. You letting this man you sleeping with devils. We literally be out here sleeping with the enemy. And you wonder why your spirit is off. You wonder why you can't progress, why you can't get ahead. Then you wonder why you still be having these feelings, even once you leave the person, because of the soul tie. You got to literally pray that thing off. You got to use your words, because there's life and death in the power of the tongue. You got to use your words. This is why God said not to fornicate. Even what Paul say, would he want Jesus to be sleeping with a harlot? No, because then that would make them become one flesh. Why would you want to become one flesh with an enemy, with a harlot? Why would you want to become one flesh with that? When you have sex with a person, you're becoming one. You're spiritually getting yoked. Demons jump. Even just having certain people in your energy. You don't know what people praying on you. You don't know. This stuff is real. Witchcraft is real. Dark magic is real. You have to be careful about who you're allowing around you. You have to be careful about what you're doing so that you won't have to get to the point where you have to kill an innocent baby. You can't tell me that, it's not a baby until it gets here. No. And I'm going to just tell you this. And I think I've said it a while ago before. Shoot, I remember when I first did my video, when I first moved to Texas, and I was talking about this Roe versus Wade thing when they first overturned it. And I did that video. They was mad as heck in the comments. Oh, we should be able to, because I was, I'm pro-life. So yeah, stop killing them babies. For every baby. And then people be wondering why you getting haunted by demons every night, why you can't sleep every night. You wonder why. You need to repent. You wonder why your life, you put a curse on your own life when you sign them type of deals. When you do those type of sacrifices to the enemy, there will be no rest for the wicked. There will be no rest for the wicked when you're doing stuff that's abominations to the Lord. There will be no rest. When you sign them oaths with the devil, you doing blood covenants with the devil, and you think you're going to see rest? And even if you try to get out of here, even if you die, it's a covenant. Covenants last generations. Why do you think a lot of us stuff, we ain't do certain things, but the sins that we commit, it affects our children. All the kids that don't have dads, a lot of kids don't have dads because why? A lot of women was one night stands. A lot of these men didn't really want them, was cheating on them. They was cheating on their main girl with them. Y'all know how it goes. It's a lot of ways that this thing go. But I know the baby is a life from 4 weeks old. From 4 weeks old, the moment it has a heartbeat, it is a baby. It is a life. Because your heart is what gives you life. When your heart stops beating, you're dead. You're dead. So you can't say, oh, it's not a real baby because this, that. No, when it has a heartbeat, because if your favorite person right now, heart stop beating, you're going to be crying. Because that means they're dead. Now it's time for them to transition. So don't say it's not a life, because life comes from the heartbeat, baby. So when it stops, that means you're done. When it goes, that means you have life. And I know, because when I had a miscarriage, when I was 14 years old, I got pregnant at 14 years old, and I think I talked about it before, but it was like a while ago. And when that thing came, I had a miscarriage, and my mom was going to make me get an abortion that week. I'm never going to forget this. That weekend, that Saturday, my mom was going to make me get an abortion. And I was literally early. It was only like 6 weeks, whatever. And it was like a whole thing that obviously we went through. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even know I was pregnant. And I mean, we got into a whole thing. She was like, and you knew you was pregnant? I'm like, I did not know. I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know what cum was. Didn't know what any of this stuff was. I remember she found out me and my boyfriend was having sex because it was a cum stain down on her red couch in the basement. And I got pregnant, and I didn't even know, but she was clocking my period. And so she knew that I was pregnant. I didn't know. So she bought a pregnancy test home. I took it, and then she was like, you pregnant? I knew you was pregnant. You knew you was pregnant. I'm like, I did not know. So she scheduled me for abortion or whatever. And I remember it was like that Wednesday before. It was like a couple days before I was supposed to go get the abortion. I'm never going to forget, because I was walking up the hill to go to my boyfriend's house because he lived in my neighborhood. And as I'm walking up the hill, I started bleeding. Like I was having a miscarriage. And it was just a whole mess because my mom was mad and all of this stuff. So of course that whole week it was like, yeah. But that thing came out in the toilet, and it literally, it's already formed, like the shape. You can see the eyes. You can see it's like a little tadpole in a sack. And it came out in the toilet. Like I was bleeding until the whole thing came out. And then I had to go to the hospital for them to do I think it was called a D&C or something, where they scrape to make sure all the rest of the blood is out. Or all the rest of like the pieces is out of the baby, I guess. So I know that it's a life because of that experience. And you literally see the baby in the toilet. So to even see when if you're at like 3 months or 4 months, it might not be fully developed, but you see the head, the arms, the structure. You can see that. You see the head. It's so hurtful to see that people literally just do this to kids. And it's because of negligence. Negligence. And you want to take an innocent baby. You want to take the life of an innocent baby because you're not responsible in what you're doing. You know, it's really sad. I'm going to always be pro-life. I'm for the kids. I'm for stopping all of this stuff. I'm going to always speak about it. That's just what it is. I'm not for neglecting kids. It's just sad why people really hate kids. People love pets. They love dogs more than kids. You can get in trouble for killing an animal before you get in trouble for killing your own baby that's inside of you. But once it come outside of you, you don't get in trouble for it. But while it's inside of you, but if a man or another woman was to kill you while you was pregnant, they would get charged for 2 murders. But why isn't it murder when the woman kills the baby herself? But that's nothing but understanding the corporation that's behind this, they're demonic. Like the demonic entities that are living within these flesh that own these corporations, they're behind all of this. And y'all got so much to say about the celebrities. They're not the only ones that's wicked. Y'all allow them to influence y'all to do the same things that they're doing. This is going on with regular average people. And we don't even know the attack that's on our community. It's a spiritual attack on our community. For us to kill our own, take our own, deceive our own people because of the strength that we really embody. Because of the fact, I told you, we are the people of the book. Even Pharaoh, he been told Moses, he been told the Hebrew midwives to kill every baby, every newborn baby. Moses was not supposed to make it. Jesus wasn't supposed to make it. A lot of us wasn't supposed to make it. Because either our parents was about to have an abortion, tried to have an abortion, and it didn't go through. Because God said, nope, I need that baby here. That baby right there is the one that's going to come and fight the kingdom of darkness for me. That baby right there is going to be a faithful servant to me in the kingdom of heaven and stand up for the wickedness that's going on in the land. When blood is shed, the blood cries out from the ground to the Lord. It cries out like Cain's, like God said to Cain. He said, when he came and was like, well, where's your brother? Cain like, I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper? He said, the blood of your brother. When Cain murdered Abel, he said, the blood of your brother cries out from the ground. He already told them, do not do this wicked stuff in the land because the land will spit you out for all the iniquities that has come upon the land. Y'all wonder why all these plagues come? This is nothing but God. A lot of the judgment that's coming for Judgment Day, it ain't just about these celebrities. It's about what the regular humans, especially us as his chosen people. It's about the things that we continue to do. The idolatry, the murder in our cities. And then these same babies that they out here killing, what y'all think is the processed food? Where do y'all think they getting this stuff from? They cannibalizing these babies. And feeding them to you. And you wonder why you're getting diseases, these things, you reap what you sow. Until you repent and truly turn away from your wicked ways, there will be no rest. There will be no rest. This is not acceptable. Especially for us because he chose us. And the only reason why we going along with their thing, they want us to do this. Them white folk, they want us to do this. They don't want us to be out. They don't want us to end up outnumbering them. They already know the judgment that's coming to Esau. The judgment that's coming, we're getting judged, but they're getting judged too. They know their days are limited. I know y'all, I told y'all in the Left Behind video that I did, that's nothing but warning from the Lord. It was nothing but warning from the Lord to prepare for Judgment Day, to give people a chance to repent, gives people a chance to turn away from their wicked ways so that they don't fall down with the rest of the world that's getting ready to fall. Meanwhile, your celebrities, they got bunkers and all this other stuff. And even still, God know where they at. If they think that they about to get away with stuff when a lot of this stuff is started because of them, stuff that they're allowing and willing participants in, they're going to fall too. But a lot of this is really for us to do away with our children, for us to hurt our children so that we can't rise up and come against the kingdom of darkness. Even Moses, that's why they wanted to kill all the boys. They're threatened by our boys. We're killing our kids. We letting our boys go into ruin. It's just sad what's going on in our community because we don't understand that the true threat is the Black man. A Black man that knows his power, that walks in his calling, that finds his purpose, that fears the Lord. He said that in the Antichrist video. That's why the one thing they try to do is keep the Black man from their faith. Because if you find out who you are and you realize that you are God's chosen one, if you find out that you are God's chosen one and answer the call on your life, you're here to dominate them same ones that has been oppressing you for years because they know that you guys are much and more mightier than they. They just came in messing me up. But they know that y'all are much more mightier than them. Like it says in here, we gonna read. We got some scriptures to read, and I should have been reading them. But I just it's so much on my brain right now from everything. It's just I really weep for our community. The other day, I really was just crying, because it's just crazy to me how messed up we are. Like we're so destroyed and we don't even understand why. And we won't even want to turn away from our behaviors because we have so much pride. We want to do what we want to do so bad. We're such a rebellious people. And it's just sad because this is not our portion. Pain, suffering. Well, we're going to have suffering regardless, but we don't have to have it to the magnitude that we have it. It's not our portion to be in poverty. It's not our portion. We have an inheritance. We're supposed to own all of this land. That was the promise. The land that when Abraham said, when will I know that, my descendants, when will I know that they'll be able to take over the land of Canaan that was promised to them? That was promised to me and my descendants. He said, you'll know after they have been afflicted for 400 years, and then they'll be able to take over their land. 400 years is up now. It was up for a couple of years now. And we still haven't been able to fully take back what's ours because of what we're still doing in the land, what we're still doing to one another. We're still rejecting God. We're still idolizing these celebrities. And it's just sad. It really is because we deserve so much more. In the spirit, we really deserve so much more. But based on how we allow our flesh to take over and we invite these demonic spirits in and let them possess us like Judas, and then we out to steal, kill, and destroy one another, there does need to be another judgment needs to come. It needs to be destroyed. Like it's going to happen. And I say that to God. I'm like, it needs to happen. It's just so far gone. The land, the earth is crying out because of the land. There's so much wickedness on the land. It needs to be made desolate and start all over again, like he did in the days of Noah, because it is too far gone. These fallen angels, these demon seeds are literally wreaking havoc. And that was, let's find that. Let's go to Leviticus right quick. Because that's what it said. And because in the Leviticus, his law that people swear up and down we're not supposed to follow, when we are the real Hebrew Israelites. We are the real Jews. They're not. Them European Jews are not. It says, and you shall not let any of your seed pass through the fire to Moloch, neither shall you profane the name of your God. I am the Lord. You shall not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination. We're doing all things that's an abomination. Neither shall you lie with any beast to defile yourself therewith. Neither shall any woman stand a beast to lie down thereto, meaning not to be having sex with these animals. It says, neither shall you lie with any beast to defile yourself therewith. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down thereto. It is confusion. And in that Antichrist video, the number one thing he said that he wants to do is cause confusion. He said, I got them. That's why people think that them rebelling against God is making Satan happy. I mean, it is making Satan happy, but he even said, I got them all confused. He not for nobody. He not for nobody. He looking at you like, dang, you a goofy. You really that weak and you falling for my schemes, only to know that my schemes that you carrying out for me to go against God, the one I hate, it's only going to destroy you. It's only going to destroy you even further. Selling your soul. What should it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his own soul? You gaining, trying to sell your soul for money, doing things worried about money, having abortions because you said, oh, I can't afford this baby, or this baby gonna get in the way because I'm not gonna be able to work and I'm not gonna be able to do this. When you already in, if God give you a baby, he's gonna make sure you have a way. But we do these things thinking that we rebelling against God and we happy to just rebel because it feels free. I can just do what I want. Not only realizing you're the one really suffering behind the scenes. People get on social media, act like everything is all good, but behind the scenes, there be a lot of suffering. Be a lot of sad souls slumped over walking around. Be a lot of sad souls out here that put on like the enemy does, like Jezebel. You put on, make everything you want to make it look good, but really it ain't no good. Peace in the soul, a clear conscience is the best peace. That's why a lot of these demons out here, they can't sleep good at night. Meanwhile, God's children, the one with a clear conscience, the ones that we didn't already confess our sins to him, all you got to do is confess your sins to him. The good, the bad, is obviously the ugly. But you go to God about everything, the good, the bad, the ugly. There's things that you would never tell another human, but you need to get that burden up off your conscience and let it be known to the Lord, because he already know anyway. But he wants you to confess your sins to him. Confess your sins to him to make peace with yourself so you can sleep at night. So you're not being haunted by all them abortions you had. Them babies are haunting you. Them babies are haunting you. The spirits that you done killed out here, that you done unalive, shed innocent blood, they're haunting you. It says, defile not yourselves in any of these things, for in all these the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you. And the land is defiled. Therefore I visit the iniquity thereof upon it. And the land itself vomits out her inhabitants. Therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, and you shall not. Therefore you shall keep my statutes and my judgments, and shall not commit any of these abominations, neither any of your own nation nor any stranger that sojourneth among you. The land will vomit you out for all the iniquities you caused on it. Look at the cities. Look why the land looks so corrupt. Ain't nobody pouring back into that mess. So much treacherous things go on in the land. It's going to vomit you out. You're going to be running from the land. The land ain't for you no more. There will be no rest in the land. There will be no peace in the land. You're going to have to run up out the land because of all the blood that's shed in the land. And you wonder why it's dark clouds over these cities. So much blood been shed there. And that's one of the 6 abominations. It says these are 6 things the Lord hates. 7 that are detestable to him. 7 that are abomination to him. Haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that are quick to rush to evil, a false witness who pours out lies, and a person who stirs up conflict in the community. That's everything that's going on in our cities. But yet y'all sit on the Murder Inc. page. Well, that's in Baltimore. But all these cities got their own page where they're keeping track of who killing, because DC got it too, PG, where I'm from, my hometown. We got it. So I know other cities got it too. Posting about who everybody that's getting killed in the community and all of it. And everybody be in the comments like, oh, this gotta stop. Oh, so many women getting smoked. And they like, I thought what happened to no kids, no women. No, y'all getting down and dirty with it. And then people be like, oh God, I'm praying to God. No, you have to repent and turn away from those wicked ways. He hears the cries. He needs people to humble themselves and to stop the madness. It needs to stop. Everything that's going on in our cities is all strategic. It's all strategic. Them placing the guns in our cities so we can self-destruct. Why? They don't have to work hard when all they got to do is supply us with the tools to get rid of our own stuff. It's gonna say, do this to them. Let them kill their own babies. We ain't really got to do it. Let them kill their own boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, mothers. Let them self-destruct their own so that we can lessen their population. Because we're a threat. We're a true threat to society if we really knew who we were and would boss up in that. They don't want us to figure out who we are. Why do you think at the churches they tell y'all not to read Old Testament? Anybody that's trying to keep you so far away, anybody that wants to stop you from doing something so bad, it's obviously because they know what's on the other side of that. They know that you will find out who you really are. They know that you will become who you really meant to be. This is why when you get in relationships with people, they'll try to stop you. They don't want you to succeed like that. They don't want us to know who we really are. They don't want us to know the real reason why we have so much suffering and struggle in our community. Because the Lord our God chose us. But they tell you not to read Old Testament because they don't want you to find out your true history. They don't want you to find out the truth. They don't want you to find out these things. Like I said in another video, how on earth? The whole Bible, bruh. The whole Bible. This is your Bible. Like, first of all, people say Old Testament is only for what they deem as fake Jews. The fake Jews, they only read the first 5 books. They only read the first 5 books, which is Genesis, Exodus, Numbers, Leviticus, Deuteronomy. This is the portion that the Torah is. This. All of this in here, this is just the beginning. This is the rules and regulations set for us. And then the beginning of what has happened with Abraham and all the promise and everything. Deuteronomy has our curses, which we've done videos on that. So go look at the playlist. This here is New Testament. This little bit. This. Why would you think you're only supposed to read this out of this big old book? When your history, the meat is in here. All of this. All of this. You gonna read Deuteronomy 28? You gonna see what the blessings were supposed to be for us? And then go to them curses. And you see who the real Hebrew Israelites are. You're gonna be like, dang, this is what we live in. Go to Genesis. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. And we talked about it in the last video. Where the promise was, when Abraham said, how am I gonna know? How am I gonna know when it's time for my descendants to take over the land? How am I gonna know when it's that time? After 400 years of affliction is what God told him. Your descendants will have 400 years of affliction. And after that, I will let them out and they will be able to have this land. But like I forgot what I was about to say. We are these people. We are the people of the book. We are the people of the book. And even that's what I was getting ready to read, because the Egyptians, and we've done videos about this before. I've done a video about this last year when I was like, when I found out we the real Hebrew Israelites, when I found out we the people. So we're gonna read this part right quick, and then there's a couple other things that I want to talk about. So this video obviously gonna be over an hour, because I want to get it all out. But this is what they say. This is why they want you killing off your babies. Let's read this right quick. So it says, a new king arose who knew not Joseph. So it says, now there rose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said to his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. We already know that they feel like we're more and mightier than them. We're stronger than them. We read that in the Willie Lynch syndrome video. The whole objective of why they did what they did to us in slavery was to get us out of our true nature, which is being wild, which is being bodacious, which is knowing who we are, which is our men being independent and our women being dependent on our men. Now they have switched the roles where women are independent. We got our men dependent on us. We've taken on masculine. They've taken on feminine. The whole objective was to dumb our men down because our men are a true threat. The black man. It says, for they are much and more mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it comes to pass that when they have fallen out any war, they join against our enemies and fight against us. So get them up out the land. They was afraid that we was going to come against them with their enemies, and then they were going to be the minority. And it said, I'm gonna skip over some stuff. And it said, okay, so it says, therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. Then it says, but the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel. Is this not our story? The more they afflict them, the more they afflict us, the more we grow, the more we have babies. Them putting us in a project, putting us in a hood, that ain't stop us from growing. Now y'all put us in here, give us nothing to do. So now what we gonna do? We're gonna be having a whole bunch of sex. We're gonna be humping like bunnies. So them putting us in the projects, all that made us do, them allowing the hoods not to have no resources, nothing. You ain't giving them nothing to do but have sex, drink, rob, kill, steal, have more sex, sell drugs, we're giving nothing else left but to do, but to have more sex, to have more babies. And then y'all want to go kill them off. When no, those children that you're having, they're going to raise up to be great. Raise them upright so they can be great. And even when you got this trauma, this is why you got to stop letting trauma affect, I'm not going to say don't let it affect you, but you got to overcome it. You got to turn your pain into purpose. You got to begin to teach about those things. You got to stop being afraid to speak up about those things. You're going to help millions of other people. You're going to help be able to defeat the enemy. That's why the enemy be trying to stop me, because he know I'm here to speak up. He know I'm here to speak. He know I keep my foot on his neck, all gas, no brakes, foot on his neck. He used the same tricks every time to try to convince you that to not do it, to not walk in your calling, to make you feel like this ain't for you. This ain't what you should be doing. To try to get you to go back doing your old ways. You got to, but when you stay pressed into God, when you stay in your word, when you stay in prayer, when you put God first and leave these clowns out here alone, get rid of the distractions, you have no room for the enemy to enter. You have no room. He don't like it. A lot of my videos and stuff that I talk about, that's why I said I'm not even going to monetize this video. They don't want this stuff. This is why my channel is shadow banned. They don't want my video to get out there. There's no reason I get thousands of likes on my posts, on my community posts, and my videos only get a little bit of views. They don't want this truth out. They don't want this truth out. But I'm going to keep posting. I'm going to keep doing it because I'm a faithful servant of the Lord. Period. But it says, that the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. That's why they try to convince us to do all of this stuff to get rid of our babies. This is why the plot is on us getting rid of our babies. Let's finish reading right quick. It says, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor. Is this not our story? Is this not our story? They made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field. Is that not our story? Let's go on. It says, and the king of Egypt spoke to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was whatever. And he said, when you do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then you shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall be alive. Basically telling the Hebrew woman that was the midwives, when you get a woman that come in to see you about her baby, when it's time for you to deliver a baby, if it's a boy, kill him. If it's a girl, save him. Y'all already know we have it hard in the hospitals with Black women with having babies now because they don't want us to thrive. They don't want us to have all of these babies. We have more babies than them. Us and Hispanics, we reproduce more. We reproduce more. They don't have the reproductive that we have. They can't reproduce like we can. Let's finish reading. And he said, when you do the office of it says, but when the midwives feared God and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men children alive, and the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said to them, why have you done this thing and have saved the men children alive? And the midwives said to Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively and are delivered eerie. The midwives come into them. She said, they are much more lively than we. So they know that their women are much more lively than them. They know our men are much more stronger. The women, we have been made strong. It's naturally in us because we get our strength from the Lord our God. We get the strength from our melanin that they hate so bad, that they wish they had. Why do you think they want to mix their kid? A lot of these white women now they want to mix with us to give them longevity in their bloodline because they the ones going extinct. They're afraid of these end times. It says, therefore God dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed very mighty. And it came to pass, because the midwives feared God, that he made them houses. And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born you shall cast into the river, and every daughter you shall save alive. So the midwife wasn't doing that. Now Pharaoh charged his people, because at first he was telling our own women that were in those positions to do it, because you already know for the right price, out of fear, our own people will turn against us too. Let's just be real. But these Hebrew midwives did not. They did not. So it says, so now Moses is about to be born. So it says, and there went a man of the house of Levi and took to a wife of daughter of Levi. And the woman conceived and bare a son. And when she saw him, that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months. And when she could not no longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes and daubed it with slime with pitch and put the child therein. And she laid it in the flags by the river brink. And his sister stood afar off to with what would be done to him. So Moses' mom, she hid. Remember, he said, kill all the firstborn males. Kill them. Because they will grow. They're growing more mighty. We can't have these men. We can't have more of them than us to fight against us. So kill them off. Even when Jesus came, he went through the same story as Moses. They wanted to kill them all. The chosen ones, the ones that was called to lead. Moses was a chosen one. Jesus was a chosen one. They were anointed to save their very own people. Save a lot of us, the chosen ones. This is what I tell y'all all the time, bruh. We are chosen because we're chosen for special assignment to save our very own people. To save our own people. To lead them to the living water. We're the ones that's supposed to do this. This is why you gotta get out of you gotta stop dwelling on what you used to do, what it used to be, and focus on why you went through that. You now have the experience to come up here and tell your story, help lead other people out of that same darkness to help them heal. Because when we begin to heal, we begin to feel better about ourselves. We begin to think clearer. We begin to stop being crash dummies. We begin to elevate. We begin to prosper. And we begin to step on the enemy's neck. This is why it's beauty in healing. But y'all spend so much time jumping nigga to nigga, woman to woman, this and that. Y'all spend too much time doing that stuff and you can't focus. And then what you do, all you do is get yourself with another demon seed that's plotting on taking you out of here, or that won't let you fully work in your purpose because they don't want you to really rise up like that. So it's saying, let's just move on. This was the whole thing. She had to hide her son for 3 months. Let's read the rest part. Let's finish reading. So it says, and the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river, and her maidens walked along by the river's side. And when she saw the ark among the flags, she sent her maid to fetch it. And when she had opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the baby wept. And she had compassion on him and said, this is one of the Hebrews' children. How did she know this was one of the Hebrews' children? All right, y'all, we're back. I had to take a quick intermission because my phone was on 1%, the kids, so like I was saying though, how did she know that this was a Hebrew baby? Because of the color of the skin of that baby. That's how they knew. How else you gonna know? A baby at 3 months old, the color finally came in. That's how they knew who the Hebrew baby was. They can tell obviously by the physical features of that child. So it says, and when she had opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the baby wept, and she had compassion on him and said, this is one of the Hebrews' children. Then said his sister to Pharaoh's daughter, shall I go and call a nurse of the Hebrew women that she may nurse the child for you? Listen to what they did. They want to have a Hebrew woman to nurse the child because that's what we known for doing, nursing their children, because their vanity, their selfishness, they don't want to do that for themselves. Their privilegedness, they don't want to do that with their own children. We do that, at least back then. Y'all know, well, if you do know, I'm a breastfeeding mama with my second baby. I only breastfed for like 2 weeks with the first one. But anyway, so that was that whole thing about Moses. You see the impact. Even Abraham, they wanted to unalive Abraham. Well, I ain't editing this video, so I ain't monetizing this video, so I can say the real words. They wanted to kill Abraham as well. When the shooting star came, that's a whole nother thing. They wanted to kill Abraham because they saw the sign that it was going to be an anointing. It was something special about that baby. So actually, we've talked about that in videos back about Abraham. So that's in probably my Bible study playlist. But I'm about to wrap this video up because I don't really want to make it that long. I want to read Leviticus about Moloch. I should have read this in the beginning of the video for those people who be tuning out. But it's okay, because one thing about it, we ain't never going to stop talking about this. So I probably end up, and I actually think I did a video about this before too, but it's okay, because we're gonna keep dropping them. God tell me to drop it, and no matter if I already spoke on it before, if he tell me to speak on it again, I'm going to speak on it again. I'm going to speak on it again and again and again and again, period. So Leviticus chapter 18, verse 21, he said, do not give any of your children to be sacrificed to Moloch, for you must not profane the name of your God. I am the Lord. So now we get ready to read the punishment for sin for, look, flip right here. I'm going to read it from NIV though. The punishment for sacrificing children to Moloch. So it says, the Lord said to Moses, say to the Israelites, we are the Israelites. We are the Israelites. Say to the Israelites, any Israelite or any foreigner residing in Israel who sacrifices any of his children to Moloch is to be put to death. The members of the community are to stone him. The members of our communities, we don't stone our perverts. We sit there and cover it up, let them still come around. No, as a unit, y'all supposed to get together and jump them. And then y'all wonder why everybody is walking around out here with mental illness. Y'all wonder where we get these lustful spirits from. It's because the demon seed, Moloch, that's in our households, in our families, single women who invite these boyfriends in a house, and these men be not men, they be demons. Using the fleshly body, coming into your life only to prey on your children. Some people, it's their own fathers, own mothers, stepmothers, aunties, uncles, because it ain't about just the men. It's the girls too that are doing this. The ladies too. So it says, I myself will set my face against him and will cut him off from his people, for by sacrificing his children to Moloch, he has defiled my sanctuary and profaned my holy name. If the members of the community close their eyes when that man sacrifices one of his children to Moloch, and if they fail to put him to death, I myself will set my face against him and his family and will cut them off from their people, together with all who follow him in prostituting themselves to Moloch. I will set my face against anyone. All right, I will set my face against anyone who turns to mediums and spiritists to prostitute themselves by following them, and I will cut them off from their people. Consecrate yourselves and be holy, because I'm the Lord your God. Keep my decrees and follow them. I'm the Lord who makes you holy. This is what I'm saying. All of that mess about not reading Old Testament, this is why the Black community is suffering. How stupid can one be to listen to somebody who ever gave you this BS instruction to not read this big part back there? If anybody's trying to keep something from you, it's because they see the blessing in that. They know that it's something good in that, or something good that's going to come from that. And the good that's going to come from us reading Old Testament is finding out who we are, getting actually mad about it, doing something about it, repenting, turning away from our wicked ways, putting our Lord, our God first, taking it serious so that we can be restored with our land. And we were the ones that were supposed to take them out. Everything that they did to our towns, that's what we were supposed to do to them. That's what we were supposed to do. He said to leave none left behind. None. You're not supposed to be mixing in with them. No, you're supposed to smite everybody. Everybody must get destroyed. We was never even supposed to be sitting still them living amongst us. And everything that has been done to us is what we was initially supposed to do to them. And then we was going to reap our blessing, which was having our land. All the land, that 40 acres and a mule y'all be crying and whining about, talking about. This all is supposed to be ours. We are supposed to have 40 acres each. All these cattle, all of this, the goats, the sheep, all is supposed to be ours. We're supposed to be the head and not the tail. But per the curse, Deuteronomy 28, because y'all out here following behind them white folk. Y'all want to be like them white folk, be like the other Black folk. Because like I said, all skin folk ain't kin folk. We got a lot of demon seeds in our own community. Y'all want to fit in so bad. You seeking so bad for acceptance. And when you seeking for acceptance, you do anything to fit in. When you sow in poverty and you seeking for a quick buck, when you doing everything for instant gratification, you will sell yourself over to the devil. With that girl, I just saw a video. The little dude I be following on TikTok, he be doing people would call him a conspiracy theorist, but he be just stating the facts. And he was talking about Sexy Red. He did a video on her about when she went to the Balenciaga party with Kim Kardashian. And y'all already know Balenciaga had a whole scandal that came out that they are behind child sacrifice too. So that was a big thing like last year sometime. And Sexy Red was at the party. If y'all don't know Sexy Red, she a rapper, a strag. She basically did a video and she had the devil horns on her head at the party. She be walking around with a big stack of money. She got tattoos all over the place. And then she was like, after that, when she was coming home from the party, she said, y'all keep asking me that I sell my soul. I'm about to just tell them. And then the person, and it was in a car, was like, yeah, she sold her soul for a double cheeseburger or something like that, a sandwich or something from McDonald's. But she was like, I did sell my soul, and I'm getting too much money. I ain't turning back. something like that. And it's just like, this is how they get our rappers, our artists. This is how they get you sucked in. She said, I'm too far in it now. This is how they get them. They go and find, they praying, they watching influencers. They watching you on your social media. They watching this stuff. And they watching to see who they can get to plant into a position to be the next one to lead the rest of the Black community, because they know Black community is weak as hell. They know we're willing to follow anybody. They know we're always looking for another leader to idolize. And then they put those people in position to promote destructive agendas that we go back and follow behind so that we can continue to self-destruct. To continue to make the Lord our God mad. We continue to do that. I'm about to read Psalms 106. This is once again about us, about shedding innocent blood. So it says, they forgot the God who saved them, who had done great things in Egypt, miracles in the land of Ham, and awesome deeds by the Red Sea. And when they say the great things in Egypt, which was freeing us from Egypt, when we was in slavery, y'all know in slavery, our grandparents was praying, was crying out, was doing so much. And even doing that, like they were the cries from what was going on, the cries from the rape, the cries from the beating, the cries from the lynching, the cries from everything was crying out. All the blood that was shed, God hears it. He sees it. And the great things that is speaking of him doing from Egypt is freeing us from bondage. That's what I'm saying. We don't even have our own date of when we celebrate being free from bondage. We go along with Independence Day and New Year's Day that everybody else do. We are so assimilated into the European stuff. We don't have nothing of our own. This is how you know we Judah, because we got the most separated from our true identity. At least the Jamaicans, which is the West Indies, they tribe of Benjamin and stuff, which is still under Judah and them. Judah and the West Indies, we kind of like became one. But really, they all still got their own traditions. I mean, obviously, Black people, we got our own little culture too. That's how you can tell, like, but Jamaicans and them act like a lot like us. It's just they accent and they food, obviously, but they got a lot of the same ways, because I just saw some videos recently about the girl was talking about her Jamaican dad was raping her for years. And he was like, he was telling her, oh, this is what fathers do. Like, no, they don't. But let's read this. So it says, they forgot the God who saved them, who had done great things in Egypt, miracles in the land of Ham, and awesome deeds by the Red Sea. So he said he would destroy them had not Moses, his chosen one, stood in the breach before him to keep his wrath from destroying them. He sends us his chosen ones. That's why I say chosen ones. It's about answering the call. You have a true job here to do. You're here to speak up on these same type of causes and stop being scared of backlash. Stop being scared to show your face. Stop being scared to come on front line and fight. Stop being scared. He chose you. You about that life. He put it in you. He put it in you. Forget what these folks got to say. We here to work for God. Do you fear God or do you fear them? This is like fearing your parents. If y'all had parents like that, my mom wasn't like this, but I know I hear people say this about their parents. If the person trying to come fight you, if you don't get out there and fight them, they going to beat your butt. So this is how it is with God. You either going to fear these jigaboos. That's really a contemptuous word for us too. But you gonna fear these jigaboos, or you gonna fear the Lord, the one who really got the power to destroy, the one who got the power to uplift and to destroy. Who you care more about? The ones that type their little sticky fingers on the keypad, beating down the keyboard to try to tell you something in your comments, the ones who on here doing this but really suffering behind the scenes, still really in poverty here and in real life. Are you scared of those internet thugs, or are you scared of the real God? Which one? Pick you one, get you one, because they ain't really gonna do nothing. They don't have the power that God had, which we're gonna see. like we was warned about in that movie, the whatever it was called, The Last Warning, or whatever it was called, Leave the World Behind. So it says, so he said he would, so had not Moses, his chosen one, stood in the breach before him to keep his wrath from destroying them. Because he see people are trying to, like, even like Noah, like we're trying. Jesus was trying. And everybody think that they can still do wicked stuff because Jesus died for their sins. That's not, like, people are putting their life on the line for you goofballs, and you're still not getting it. Because you still want to be out here and be a rebellious people, a stiff-necked people, like he said in Ezekiel. These videos is getting ready to be coming. They coming. I don't have no time to waste. That's why now at this point on my page, I'm strictly talking about the Black community. I'm going to be coming hard. Call it what you want. I am the judge. So call it what you want, but don't call me for front. I'm here to talk about what our real issues is. Forget what you heard. Then they despised the pleasant land. They did not believe his promise. I'm not putting all this up on a keyboard because when I got to put these verses up here, it take me too long to edit the video and they already be long videos. So I'm not doing that. I'm going to put this, just the scripture. Y'all go see it yourself. But it says, then they despised the pleasant land. They did not believe his promise. They grumbled in their tents and did not obey the Lord. So he swore to them with uplifted hand that he would make them fall in the wilderness, make their descendants fall amongst the nations, and scatter them throughout the lands. We are the ones that were scattered. Let's finish. Let's finish this. They yoked themselves to the bow of Peor and ate sacrifices offered to lifeless gods. When we eating this pork and eating all these unclean animals and unclean fowls and unclean things that he told us not to eat, once again, abominations. And we think Jesus died for our sins, so it's okay. We're going to be without sin. So when the destruction comes and you get ate up and your family get ate up, don't shed no tears. Shed no tears, because you was big and tough when you was doing everything that he told you not to do. You wouldn't go into repentance. So when everybody is, when they come over here and let this thing off like they over there doing in Ukraine, don't weep. Just sit there for tough like you are and let it happen. And once again, y'all know, if it don't apply, let it fly. But this is for your family members. Spread the word. And when y'all watching these videos, y'all need to be telling y'all family this stuff. Even though we already know the Black people are some stiff-necked people. They don't want it. They're so dang on brainwashed. So easily manipulated. So easily manipulated into lies. I mean, look around. Look. You believe the same goofies who've been telling you they gonna do this and that and telling you false hopes and dreams for years, and them niggas don't never do nothing. Even the dudes, dumb as hell too. Anyways, so it says, they aroused the Lord's anger by their wicked deeds, and a plague broke out among them. But Phinehas stood up and intervened, and the plague was checked. This was credited to him as righteousness for endless generations to come. By the waters of Meribah, they angered the Lord, and trouble came to Moses because of them. For they rebelled against the Spirit of God, and rash words came from Moses' lips. They did not destroy the peoples as the Lord commanded them. When they got to the land of Canaan, they were supposed to destroy them. And that's why I really just wish I knew an ancestor or anybody that was in actual slavery, and I want to really know what they did when they were let go. What did they do? The towns that everybody reside in, because everybody ain't just like separate, because you can tell we all in like the same areas. So I just wonder. I be wondering what really happened in real life, with our ancestors about slavery. Like, this is crazy, and it's just a lot that I got to say that I think, like, some of this stuff that I say is just my thoughts, like how far, because I feel like the world ain't really start as long ago as they make it seem, because when you look at history and you see that a lot of stuff is just developing, it's like this stuff really wasn't that long ago. So I've been doing a lot of studying and trying to the different eras from BC to AD time. So I got a whole it's a lot that I'm putting in this work. I'm putting in this work to try to see, because we've been told nothing but lies. Nothing but lies. All right, let's just finish reading this, because I want to finish this, because I gotta go to the store and get some popcorn for us to have movie night tonight. So it says, they didn't destroy the peoples as the Lord had commanded them, but they mingled with the nations and adopted their customs. They worshiped their idols, which became a snare to them. They sacrificed their sons and their daughters to false gods. They shed innocent blood, the blood of their sons and daughters, whom they sacrificed to the idols of Canaan, aka Moloch. Moloch is a Canaanite god. The Canaanite gods, Chemosh is also, all of them, they the same thing, different names, same demonic spirit with a different agenda. Different agenda. It's just like when you call a company, you call that department for that specific thing and that department for that specific thing. Like there's just different, you're responsible for carrying out this wicked act. Even like with the rappers have our guy rappers, they're responsible for promoting violence. Our girls, they're responsible for promoting promiscuity, just perversion of the women, freedom, body, my choice, my body, my choice, wear thongs and stuff to the club with the see-through and do all of this. They the ones who promote that. All destruction to our community. And because our community is so dang on vulnerable and gullible, we eat up everything that we see a celebrity do. If they wear it, we want to wear it. They start a hair trend, we want to do the hair. They start doing this, we want to do it. Whatever they do, we want to do too. It says, but they mingle with the nations and adopted their customs. Okay, so it says, and the land was desecrated by their blood. They defiled themselves by what they did. By their deeds, they prostituted themselves. Therefore, the Lord was angry with his people and abhorred his inheritance. He gave them into the hands of the nations, and their foes ruled over them. Their enemies oppressed them and subjected them to their power. Many times he delivered them, but they were bent on rebellion. They were bent on rebellion, and they wasted away in their sin. Yet he took note of their distress when he heard their cry. For their sake he remembered his covenant, and out of his great love he relented. He caused all who had held them captive to show them mercy. This is the reason why we even getting a little bit of mercy now, but we're still under attack. We're still under attack. But he's made them show us a little bit of mercy. Because his covenant with us, because he loves us, he just wants us to love him back the same. He wants us to stop doing what everybody else is doing. We was never supposed to have leaders. It's because of us why we have leaders. Humanity is the reason. Then we sit here and talk about the presidents and talk about the laws and talk about this. We didn't want to follow God and his laws. So now, okay, I'm going to hand you over. You want a king so bad? Like I said, we're going to do another video again about Samuel. When I get back into the book of Samuel, we're going to do that. But I know I got to be getting into that book of Ezekiel to start talking about that. But we're going to get back into this. We're going to get back. We got a lot to cover. We are doing things that other nations do. We are not to do this stuff. Many times he delivered us, but they were bent on rebellion and they wasted away in their sin. Our sin, we just willing to self-destruct and just let it overpower us to the point of no return. our lustful desires, us lusting so bad, us being desperate for love so much. Look how many women that's so desperate for love that they let a nigga come in their house and mess with their kids and turn the blind eye. Even wives turn the blind eye because of needing a place to stay, needing because of finances, everything covered up the Molechs in the family. One devil. Then y'all sit on here talk about Christian. I told y'all months and months back, well, earlier last year and stuff, about, you know, her sisters, and they all been vocal about what went on in their family. How one predator, really the grandfather, her grandfather, and this is many people's story, how her grandfather, her dad's dad, and his mom, because of his perversion, he didn't affect it. The dad, which is Krishan's dad, his wickedness affected all 12 of the kids that Krishan's mom had with him, or 8 kids with him, and even the other ones, because the sister keeps talking about, that's what she talks about on her page, how Krishan's dad, which was her stepdad, was the one who molested her. Then she said, but they dad, like Krishan's dad, his dad, so Krishan's grandfather was raping his own daughter, and she committed suicide because of it. And the mother stayed. Even Krishan's oldest sister, the one who says all of this, China, even she said that when she told her mom about what Krishan's father, which was her stepfather, was doing to her, she got 2 black eyes because of it. She actually told the school, and the school reported it. But you see what I'm saying? And these are the women. I don't know. She could have repented and asked for forgiveness and all of that. But to see how her kids is locked up here, like the trauma from this stuff, it's like it eats me, because it's like, what the freak? Like, when is it going to stop? One demon affected 12, 13, 14, 15 plus probably more lives. The grandfather affected his own daughter and his son. He probably did stuff to his son too, which is why Krishan's dad is a drunk and in jail and been out in jail. And now all 12 kids, all Krishan brothers except 2, locked up. The other sister just got out of jail. One was stripping. Krishan is a mess. The other one got 9 kids and all these, and was selling drugs and all of this. Like, look how this trauma is messing us up, bruh. Look at how it's messing us up. And everybody just want to walk around drinking, smoking to cope, and having more sex and more sex and more sex. Lust, that spirit of wanting to feel that feel good temporary moment, is what's causing all of this. The desire to overpower someone, to control something because you can't control yourself, or there was a point in your life where you couldn't control yourself. You couldn't control the situation. You couldn't control the situation because you was a kid. So now I'm older. I'm never going to let this happen. And I'm going to do this. And now it's a demon on me that's on me to still kill and destroy others because of the demon that was put on me when that stuff happened to me. This is what's going on with us in our community. Where these demons come from. And then they come from the stuff that we're seeing, consuming through our eye gates, through our ear gates, listening to this BS music, watching these movies, watching all of this stuff. And because our brains, like I did in the Willie Lynch video, we was talking about that part where they talk about the orbiting on the axis in your brain, because the manipulation, the things that happen, it sends your brain into different functions. It starts orbiting, which is the beliefs you come up with. Your brain ends up functioning different ways. Your beliefs begin to, you don't know what to believe. You begin to have distorted realities. You got this. This is why people can have different personalities and all of this stuff like that, because you got this set of beliefs, then you got this set of beliefs, because it conflicts. It's the The ones that God say you are, and then you got the ones that the demon on you says you are. And then they go back and forth. You don't know, I want to listen to this one. God tell, well, God's supposed to be on the right side. They say you hear God through the right ear. But you hear God telling you, you're this, you're that. I called you here to do this. Then you got the devil putting fear in you. And the more wicked things you do, the more you have to literally purge and cleanse everything. And it first starts with cleansing your environment. You must first cleanse your environment to change your life. You have to get rid of the codependency, feeling like you need anybody. I'm telling you, if you really want to get your life together, you need a period of isolation. You need a period of isolation so you can just focus on you and the Lord and let the Lord lead you to where you need to be. Stop looking for validation from everybody. Stop looking for acceptance. Let the Lord release that spirit of rejection, that spirit of abandonment up off of you. Let him show you who you are. Let him show you why you went through the things you did in your life and what are you to do with that. Let him show you. Every Black person ain't supposed to just be a rapper, and it's other ways. He will show you what your way is. But a lot of people is afraid to speak on these things, but you don't know. Speaking on it is what brings healing. When you keep on, the more you let it, even that's what China say. Krishan says, and that's why I always support her, because I like how she speaks. She always say, I feel much better now. I love that my story can help somebody else. She always talk about her story. She write in her book. This is what people need to do. This is how you heal. I told her last night, let that goofball that you got living up in your house, bro, let him go. Like, leave these clowns alone, because what you allow is what will continue, and they stunting your growth. God got big things in store for that girl. And many who've been in her, many Black sheep, the chosen ones, God's chosen ones. And like I said, us as a collective, as a community, we are his chosen people. That means he got big stuff in store for us. But if we don't awaken, if the chosen ones don't wake up and help out the other lost sheep, the chosen ones in our narcissistic families that are Black sheep, we are designed to, we're Black sheep or scapegoated because you're the one that's different. You're the one that's called to break the generational curses. You're the one, you actually, the weight is on you. The weight is literally on you. God gave his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers because he needs them soldiers to get up and fight the big fight against the enemy. That's why he needs you to get up and fight. Speak up. That's how you fight back. The devil wants to silence you. The devil wants to silence you. You can't be silenced. You're letting the devil win when you're silenced. He has big stuff in store for us. Like he said here about the inheritance. Where was it? He said, therefore the Lord was angry with his people and abhorred his inheritance. He hated his inheritance. He hated it. But because he can't lie, because Abraham, like, you got ancestors that were good. All the ancestors wasn't bad. And because of their righteousness, because of the oaths that they signed with God, God he don't break his promises. He doesn't break his promises. But he will delay. Because he never said, well, he did say after 400 years. But then he'll give it to one person. Why would you want him to keep only letting a couple of people get out when us as a masses can come out and be on top and lead and rule? But we have to put the work in. We have to make him happy. He mad that he said, all right, I'm going to give y'all this inheritance, because these people, this is why he didn't let the fake Jews get grafted in, because look at what they do. I told you, I used to live in Jewtown when I lived in Baltimore. And the Jews, they live right outside of where the ghetto basically is, where the hood is on Park Heights in Baltimore. They live like right there, like right across the like literally. They be right down with the black people, but they got their own community. They all live together, like not in the same house, but all in the same community. They got their own schools. This is the vision that I have for our people, to have our people doing our own thing and stop trying to go fit in with the white people. Stop trying to fit in with everybody. Create our own thing. What the Jews do is what we're literally supposed to do. But because they came in and was willing to follow this by the book, our next video, I don't know if it's going to be the exact next one, but coming up, we're going to read again. I've read this before, but we're going to read it again about the grafting. They were willing to come in. When they were grafted in, because God used them to make us jealous. God uses these other nations to make us jealous. Oh, you ain't doing what I do. Y'all, look how, y'all know how we do, men and women. When you want to make somebody jealous because of how they treating you, like, I'm going to make you feel bad for treating me like that because I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this with this other person, and now you're going to be jealous. That's how God does us, because we are his adulterous wife. So he said, I'm going to make you jealous. I'm going to get me a new wife. I'm going to treat everybody better than I'm treating y'all, so y'all can be jealous of them. And maybe that'll have you cry out to me and pray to me and change your ways so you too can get blessed like them, because they was willing to be submissive, a submissive wife to the Lord. These fake Jews, they was willing to be a submissive wife to him, unlike us. They was willing to follow his lead and be by the book, by his word, by his law. The 5 books, they Torah. They was willing. They was willing to do it. We weren't. And we still aren't. We so divided, so many different thoughts and things. And then the church then ruined y'all. That's how I don't know why y'all still like think that the church is for you when the church has done nothing but lie to you for all eternity. A lot of people turned away from the church because of the church perversion, what the church then did to them. You know, I'm going to wrap this video up because y'all be stressing me out. I take on the emotions of God. It's like, that's my father for real. When he's happy with us, which is hardly, but I got that same type of like grace for us, even though it's like I can be mean, and then it's like, I can let up and be compassionate. Like he said, like what he just say right here, like what did he just say? He took note of their distress when he heard their cry. For his sake, he remembered the covenant. Out of his great love, he relented. He let up on them. Like, oh my gosh, y'all. When I tell y'all, this really does bother me. Because it's like we do deserve better, but we don't want to become better. To see our men, our boys, it's just so sad to see them slumped over, walked over, perked up, drugged up, messed up, mentally deranged. See our girls just so loose, so no couth, no decorum, no mind of their own, just accepting anything from these dudes, accepting anything, just no self-love. Our community has a heavy plague of self-hatred. And nobody will tell us the truth. And it's like people don't even never ask. You know, but I'm done with this video. This child, I gotta go to the store, get some popcorn. It's about time for me to eat, because I ain't eat all day yet. It's 4:09. So I'll see y'all in the next video. It's all love. It's like I just like my father. I get mad, but then it's like, I will never give up on my people. People be like, oh, ladies, go find a man in another race and this, that. Me, I'd rather just be no man than to ever switch up on mine. I can't even see myself with an outsider. I be liking some of them Arabs, like some of the Indians, they be cool. Like, they be cool. I just like that some of these men really know how to like provide, and it just be like, they know they role, but a lot of our men don't know they role. So I really be liking that. But it's like I can't even take it. I just can't even see myself with anything else. It's like just not the culture. It's just like it's just different. It's different about being friends with someone like that versus being like a relationship, and for them to truly understand the depth of things. So for me personally, child, I ain't interested in nobody anyway, girl. I'm still healing. It's gonna take me a long time. I'm just not interested. I'm so focused on my purpose, my mission, my kids. I'm not interested. Um, but it's a mess. It's really a mess, guys. It's a mess. I'm married to the Lord right now. If you single, you need to be married to the Lord right now so he can clean you up, purify your heart, release the bitterness out you, help you, lead you to where you're supposed to be, because he know you tired. Whatever situation you in, he know you tired. Whether you tired of that job you working at, whether you tired of the kids, whatever it is, he wants to bring you peace. But you gotta let go of what's no longer serving you. And you know deep down inside what's no longer serving you. You know what continues to get you into the same pitfalls. Let him heal you. I'm telling you, I ain't telling you nothing that I don't know. It took for God to separate me, move me away to fully get the bigger picture. It took for me to go through the wilderness for real to even get here to know this stuff that I'm telling y'all. When you have true faith, you don't care about what you leave behind. You'll leave it all behind. You'll take the clothes on your back. One thing that this journey has taught me is to not be detached to things. I already I've been detached from people because of just the pain that people cause me, and I don't like a lot of pain. I'm not a person who want to take a lot of pain. That's not me. I don't want, if you bring me a lot of pain, I don't feel like you love me. I don't feel like you love me if you want to harm me, especially when the world is already hard. I ain't about to be in a relationship with nobody, no friends, with nobody that's jealous. Man, I ain't got time for it. You got to get from around me. You got to get from around me, because I'm not having that. I'm not having it. I'm much more at peace. I'm a loner anyway. I've always been. And I know some people not a loner. Like some people just need them people around, but you'll hang around anybody and all they do is stunt your growth. Hanging on to dead end relationships where like many of our women too, y'all be taking care of these niggas. Like, but that's what you feel like you worth. You really think that's all you worth? That's crazy. Child, y'all better than me. Cause sir, we don't take care of men. If you taking care of me, of course I'm looking out for you. I got you like you got me. And you know, they already know. But you thinking you gonna be up in my house? Like I told her, you girl, then this nigga texting trailer park. He over there texting trailer park. He be up. We know he don't work. Meanwhile, you out here pulling double shifts, working at your job, double shifts. Or this dude, every time you on live, he laid up in here. I don't care what time of day it is. If she on live, he laid up in the house. What you laid up in here? It's 1 o'clock midday. What you in the house for? No man is in the house at 1 o'clock unless he got to work at home job, honey. These men don't want to work. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them. A lot of them. They don't believe in themselves. They don't believe they deserve more. Even if they feel like they deserve more, they don't know how to get it. And they don't know God until they come to God. The Black man must start fearing God, must gain a prayer life, must start talking. It ain't even just prayer. Like I told them on the other page, start talking. It ain't got to be eloquent. Just talk like you talk to your homeboys. But they don't even talk to their homeboys about their real issues. They always want to come talk to you. But then want to go back to their homeboys talking mess about you. But you don't talk to your homeboys about the real stuff that's bothering me. You using me. I'm your therapist for real. So don't play. Now you in distress. Because you ain't got your therapist no more. So now let me stop. But you guys, I'll see y'all in the next video because y'all know I get to talking and it's time to eat and stuff and I gotta go to the store. So I'll see y'all in the next video. Deuces.